Imagine that you have some kind of repository, or any class really. Right now we have a task repository. Now we might decide that although this concrete class is fine, we'd rather code to an interface. That way, for example, within our tasks controller, rather than type hinting a specific instance or implementation, we could instead reference a contract, which is a nice way to approach and code your applications. All right, so how might PHP Storm help us with this? So it sounds like we need to 1, rename this class, 2, extract an interface, and 3, have this class implement that interface. All right, let's see how PHP Storm can help us. The first step is we need to rename this file. If I place the cursor in the class name, once again I will hit Ctrl-T to refactor, and this time we will do a rename to DB task repository. What kind of repository is this? It's a database-specific one. All right, let's perform the refactor. All right, so now the class name has changed, but also the file name as well. Okay, so the next step is we want to extract an interface. So once again, I will place the cursor in the class name, Ctrl-T, and I will extract an interface. We will call this interface name task repository. I will keep the namespace here, and I do want to add every method to that contract. All right, do the refactor. And now you'll see that it's adding some comments here, and that's because it's picking up the file template. We'll fix that at the end of the lesson. But for now, you can see that it worked. We have our new interface, and also notice if I go back to our implementation, it automatically updated this file to implement that interface. So once again, PHP Storm makes these sorts of refactorings incredibly simple. Okay, but if I go back, what about this section right here where we had the file template stuff? I don't want any of that. Well, I will hit Command comma to enter preferences, and if we look for file templates, or I happen to be on that already, we can see that the current file template for an interface is like so. So first, I'm going to get rid of the file header. We will bump this up, or even if you want to push it all the way up here, you could. This is fine though. Also, while we are here, for general PHP files, let's get rid of that too. Okay, so let's try this whole thing one more time. Ctrl-T, extract an interface. I will call it task interface, perform the refactor, and we're done. Now we have our nice clean contract and also our implementation. Perfect.